Hello again, welcome to video number 2 in my little series of how to make the most from your voice, particularly during this lockdown. The last video concentrated on posture, so I'll quickly revisit that and then we'll integrate some of the breathing into it. So again, there might not be a lot of singing straight off, but I think again this is fundamental and crucial to everyone's well-being as well as their actual singing skill. So if you remember, we had feet at ball and socket distance apart, which is about there, doesn't have to be absolutely exact, and facing forwards so that you can feel your toes splay out in your shoes, middle of your foot and the heel. Well balanced, you might even feel your instep. Then taking your attention up to your knees and just releasing them like as if there's potential for movement. And then we come up to our hips, give them a little wiggle, just make sure that there's no rigidity there. And then further, we're going to, as well as drop the weight down into the lower half of the body, just going to make sure we don't collapse around about the middle to upper body to your chin and actually further into the crown. So if you just imagine a line there, no need to pull up, just imagine it, and then opening across the shoulders. Head tilts till it finds its nicely comfortable balance point. And rest there. So then we're just looking at a little bit of breathing. The way I always start with any new student, or actually students that have been there for 5 to 10 years, if not more, and we always go back to square one every time, which basically means dropping the weight through, perhaps placing the hands on the lower abdomen, releasing, breathing through the mouth. Still feeling the weight drop through. So we're integrating the posture, the weight drop through, and the breath. You might feel a little bit of expansion just underneath where your hands are. If you take a tad more air in, you might feel a little bit of movement in the lower back, perhaps to mid-back. And you might feel a little bit of cool air on the back of the throat. So if you take the breath in with, if I had to choose an emotion that went with a good breath for singing, I'd choose gentle joy actually, or a gentle pleasant surprise. And just allowing the jaw to drop to its natural position, which is kind of back and release downwards. Again, no push, just allow. I breathe in through the mouth for singing because it allows air in, I think, more quickly, and it suppresses it less. I find for myself that if I breathe in through my nose, too often it actually depresses the soft palate for me, and it kind of feels as if I'm pressing air deep down into my lungs. So I tend to sort of settle myself and ground myself as I've done, and then breathe in through the mouth with that gentle feeling of joy, and that uplifts me enough to be able to produce a platform for a sound that is even, grounded and also lifted. So we try again, and release. Now I'm going to get the air to move in a smooth cycle. So the breath is in, gentle lift at the top and drop. Actually, when I say lift, what I really mean is a kind of suspended moment. So there's just a tiny point at which everything is still. You rest in the potential of what your breath can do with your voice in that moment. And almost the same as you release the air as well, there's a moment at the bottom end of the breath. There. It reminds me a little bit of one of those swings at the fun fair, you know, those big pirate swings that do that. So you're not holding at the top end or hesitating too much at the bottom end of the breath. You're just letting the natural sequence guide you as you go through. Yep. And again. Good. And I would say that you might go through that sequence many times actually before you even put voice to breath. But just to begin a little bit of voice work, what we do is again integrate the voice into our body work, not actually the other way around. So we keep ourselves focused on what really matters in terms of grounding and breathing. So again, go through it so you've got the weight drop, you've got the beautiful breath in, and without changing a thing, on the next breath in, voice and R vowel coming down a slide. Ah. Ah. So there's no holding before you start to make a sound. There's no hesitation. It's just following, again, your natural cycle. So you could now then go through every vowel, any vowel that you can think of actually. So I'm going to do an E this time. So I'm settling myself down again. And never bypass it. Breathe. E. E. Loose jaw. E. Flow of air. E. Dropping the weight through. Try an E. E. And again. E. And an oo. Ooh. And again. Ooh. So each new vowel follows the same pattern as the old vowel in that there is weight drop. There's an openness here. There's a correct balance for your chin, your jaw. And there's a cool feeling at the back of the throat and the soft palate being the squidgy bit right at the back of the mouth, at the top. So when you have all of these things together, then it really means that you've worked on things separately. So I would suggest that you don't try to, as it were, run before you can walk. Do be patient with yourself and do take time and enjoy the process, enjoy the meditative style of it. It will pay dividends in the end. Let's just finish with a quick reminder and another vowel. So we'll have an A, which is another English one and Italian. So drop the weight through. There's a release in the small and bottom of the back. I'm going to place my hands here. I'm going to start my balance around my neck, crown. I'm going to feel a length in the back of my neck. Don't push, just feel. Opening up the breathing a little more, if you like. And here we go on the next breath in. Ah. And again. Ah. And one more. Ah. See you next time.